For the faculty members and students taking part in the procession and spoken program, please make your way now to the trophy case at the home plate entrance. Again, faculty members and students taking part in the college procession, please go to the home plate gate trophy case now. Graduates and guests, our ceremony will begin in just a few minutes. Everyone, please take your seats at this time. Graduates and guests, we begin this morning with our national anthem, sung today by graduating senior Natalie Gonzalez, a vocal major from the Bob Cole Conservatory of Music. Please stand for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Graduates and guests, Joining us today to recognize and honor our history-making graduating classes of 2020 and 2021 from the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics at California State University, Long Beach, are distinguished guests and leaders from our college and university, led by Grand Marshal Dr. Robert Maina, Professor Emeritus of the Department of Mathematics and Statistics. Teodora Nedic, Student Speaker and 2020 President of the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics Student Council. Natalie Cannon, Student Speaker and 2021 President of the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics Student Council. Margaret Merrifield, Equity Advisor, CNSM, and Professor Emeritus Chemistry and Biochemistry. Andreas Bill, Chair of the Department of Physics and Astronomy. Richard Bell, Chair of the Department of Geological Sciences. Desi Underwood, Chair of the Department of Biological Sciences. Lisa Martin, Chair of the Department of Science Education. Will Murray, Chair of the Department of Mathematics and Statistics. Chris Brazier, Chair of the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry. Christine Whitecraft, Program Director for Environmental Science and Policy. Babette Benkin, Director of Natural Sciences and Mathematics Graduate Studies. Krzysztof Slowinski, Associate Dean for Academic Programs Evaluation and Advising. Barbara Taylor, Associate Dean for Research. Jean-Bernard Durand, Keynote Speaker, Director of Cardiomyopathy Services at the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center and 2015 Distinguished Alumnus. Curtis Bennett, Richard D. Green, Dean of the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Neil Schnorr, Chief of Staff, Office of the President. Andy Fee, Director of Athletics. Min Yao, Vice President, Information Technology. Michelle Cheska, Vice President, University Relations and Development. Scott Appel, Vice President, Administration and Finance. Jane Close Connolly, President, California State University, Long Beach. In 2018, the university adopted a new alma mater with lyrics by Christian Valdez and music by Kyle Gabriel. It was composed when both were students in the Bob Cole Conservatory of Music. Please stand as Natalie Gonzalez performs our alma mater.
Scholars, artists, dreamers, all are welcome
Hello, fellow nerds and guests. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the Curtis Bennett, the Richard D. Green College of the Natural Science and Mathematics.
Good morning. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students in the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics, I welcome you, the class of 2020 and the class of 2021, to the 72nd commencement exercises of California State University, Long Beach. An important note about our location. Cal State University Long Beach is located on the sacred site of the Pavunga. As we sit here today within the geographical location known as the Los Angeles Basin, we acknowledge that we are on the land of the Tongva Gabrielino and Ahachimen Wanyeño nations who have lived and continue to live here. We recognize the Tongva Ahachimecha nations and their spiritual connection as the first stewards and the traditional caretakers of this land. We thank them for their strength, perseverance, and resistance. I am so very honored to be sharing this moment with you today. It is fitting after the ups and downs of the past 15 months. 15 months unlike any other in the history of the university, that we are having commencement in such a unique place. Earning a degree in the sciences or mathematics requires hard work and dedication under what we used to refer to as normal circumstances. Earning your degrees over these past 2 years has required even more of you. Today, we celebrate your perseverance, your ability to overcome the challenges you face, and your ultimate achievement and success in earning that degree, and metaphorically, crossing home plate. Congratulations. Celebrating with you today are those who helped you persevere and face those challenges. Your fellow students, your 2 family members here with you, and all the many watching courtesy of live stream technology, your friends, and the faculty of the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Just like pitchers don't get a win without the support of their team, our successes also come from the support of others. Students, I ask you to take a moment to think of someone who has helped you get where you are today and give them your applause. Before we go any further, I would like to pause for a moment of silence and acknowledge today, May 31st, our nation's Memorial Day, in memory and recognition of our military members who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving our country. Zooming into school brought many challenges, especially to those of you whose coursework required being in the lab, working collaboratively with others. How do you turn your kitchen table or your bedroom desk into a lab setting? How do you collaborate and study as a team when simple tasks, like writing notes for each other, become complicated? You all, with the help and support of faculty, friends, and chosen family, have mastered the previously unimaginable. The COVID-19 pandemic challenged you at every turn, and you have not only met the challenges, but you have triumphed over them. Should you struggle in the future, remember these triumphs. and let them give you confidence needed to overcome whatever challenges you face. The award recognitions of our graduates today carry with them not just acknowledgement of excellence, but also the acknowledgement of excellence despite unforeseen duress. Today, we say the names of your peers who are recognized with these awards. As Associate Dean Barbara Taylor joins me to call out the names, we want to also acknowledge that excellence in the sciences and mathematics is in the accomplishment of all of your degrees. With this ceremony, we are recognizing 2 years of science and math grads. That's about 1,600 of you in total. In lieu of each of you having your name called out on the stage, we invite you to access your grad slides at the grad recognition stages outside the stadium following this ceremony. Today, we read the names of honor recipients of the class of 2020 and the class of 2021. If you are here in the stadium today, please stand when you hear your name. The Graduate Dean's List of University Scholars and Artists recognizes those students who are in the top 1% of the graduate students earning master's degrees. Named from the class of 2020,
Leo Giannetta, Chloe Van Groothiest, Lee Macklin, Antonio Garcia Vallejo.
Named from the class of 2021,
Justin Duong, Andrew Lee, Kathy Vo, Nicholas Alexander Werner.
In the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics, completing a master's thesis is a major accomplishment for many of our graduate students. The college recognizes the following outstanding thesis awards from the class of 2020.
Emily Meese, Philippe Lai, Ian McGregor, Mark Salinas, Amelia Ann Strickland.
And from the class of 2021,
John Burdick, Victor Dela Cruz, Irabel Romero, Amanda Russell, Amber Jewel Tucker.
our students put in years of intense and difficult work to earn their degrees. Each degree is a significant accomplishment. Each department recognizes outstanding master's and baccalaureate graduates with the Richard D. Green Dean's Award. For 2020, the baccalaureates are
Natalie Winans, Stephanie Leal, Francine Marcel Cason, Jennifer Gensler, Nathaniel Joseph Morrison.
For 2021, the master's students are
Brandy Evelia Coates, Justin Duong, Andrew Lee, Nicholas Alexander Werner.
For 2021, the Baccalaureate Richard D. Green Award recipients are
Daniel Areola, Natalie Cannon, Michael Lamb, Kayla Danielle Landers, Jacqueline Molina Macias, Anthony Temprano.
In science education, outstanding student teachers are recognized with the Richard D. Green Dean Award in Student Teaching. For 2020,
Holly Carpenter,
and for 2021,
Dalal Dandan.
each department recognizes students within their department for honors. The class of 2020 Departmental Honors for Biological Sciences.
Anna Van An Nguyen, Vi Nup Quinn Phan, Kevin Koa Trin, Grace Mako Yomagita, Matan Grunfeld, Shah Rath Chilingarian, Christine Angelica Uy, Long Thi Tan Nguyen, Hannah Caroline Ratu Mandias, Amanda Haas, Nicholas James De Silva, Angela De Silva, Alicia Nicole Monsibais, Michaela Ann Van Bale.
The class of 2021, Departmental Honors for Biological Sciences.
Katie Blessing, Ashley Kristen Campbell, Jesus Manuel Cortez, Hector Antonio Delgadillo, Jennifer Jenny Dreschler, Bliss Gould, Jacob Handley, Kristen King, Mariah Sandrin Meyer, Aaron Pierce, David Rayoyo, Kevin Rodriguez, Max Amaya, Kira McClelland.
Class of 2020, Departmental Honors for Chemistry and Biochemistry.
Jude Bassam Khatib, Darian Jordan Gamble, William Henry Wellman, Jonathan Godinez, Christy Mari Ishihara, Bingley Wang,
Class of 2021, Departmental Honors for Chemistry and Biochemistry.
Andrew Alvarez, Jubilee Munoz-Villa, Josh Mercado, Aaron Miller, Blair Russell, Sargis Serapian.
Class of 2020, Departmental Honors for Geological Sciences.
Carl Young, Art Willoughby,
Class of 2021, Departmental Honors for Geological Sciences.
Ayodeji Israel Aina, Justin Arakaki, Brian Karata, Kaylin Luciani, Luz Ophelia Sesmas.
Class of 2020, Departmental Honors for Mathematics and Statistics.
Nathaniel Joseph Morrison, Nicholas Roy, Valeria Sanchez Sanchez, Kristen Miller, Bao Vu, Selena Elise Chavez, Ricky Lee.
Class of 2021, Departmental Honors for Mathematics and Statistics.
Christopher Karen, Jordan Allaire, Daniel Lamb, Joseph Leas, Sina Nguyen, John Buddha, Dion Nguyen, Yale Kwan.
Class of 2020, Departmental Honors for Physics and Astronomy.
Edward James Garcia, Mary Maruf Usufzi, Rochelle Lamug, Megan Louise Berry, Nicholas Alexander Werner.
Class of 2021 Departmental Honors for Physics and Astronomy.
Paul Fisher. Dave Halling. Luke Mai. Joseph Peterson. Tiberius Rayom. Ryan Town.
Class of 2020 Departmental Honors for Science Education.
Christine Marie Carlberg.
Class of 2021 Departmental Honors for Science Education.
Justin Thomas Fournier. Emily Tiari Mahia Sanders. Corina Silva.
In addition to these awards of excellence, we acknowledge those of you who expanded your student experience by participating in leadership positions in student government and student clubs. We also appreciate students who participated in study abroad, service learning, or worked on research with faculty in laboratory and in the field. Let us give all of our students our applause. Students, your time here has trained you to ask questions and to find answers, skills essential to lifelong learning. We have seen problems arise that we never thought would happen this year. Scientists and mathematicians took the lead in finding solutions. You leave us well prepared to meet future challenges. We charge you to use this education to be effective citizens, scientists, and mathematicians, for you will play an important role in building a positive future for us all. We look to you, the graduating classes of 2020 and 2021, to build us that brighter future, to make a better world for all, and to pay forward all the positive experiences you have had at the beach. This year, in acknowledgement of each class, the college has named a Grand Marshal for each year. For the year 2020, Dr. Douglas Mcavee, and for the year 2021, Dr. Robert Maina. Dr. Mcavee retired a year ago and relocated to Idaho. He couldn't make it today. Students and faculty alike benefited from his contributions in teaching, research, and advising, and his service as department chair for 6 years. He was committed to the integrity of our programs in the college and was well known for advocating for the value of research as a teaching tool, inclusions of students in research, and mentoring and guiding students in their academic careers. He was dedicated to keeping the importance of the learning relationship between our faculty and our students at the center of the university academic experience. And in 2019, his efforts were recognized with the university's Distinguished Faculty Advising Award. Thank you, Dr. Mcavee, for your service. Dr. Robert Maina let us in today. And I would like to recognize the role he has played in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics since he arrived in 1988 with a much appreciated collection of math nerd jokes. He enriched the department with his teaching, including a decade of leadership as department chair, where he laid the groundwork for curriculum revisions that have increased student success and assisted in our successful pivot to alternative modes of learning during this pandemic year. In addition to championing student success and learning at Cal State Long Beach, he was a key player in the success of the well-known Math Day at the beach. Dr. Maina is retiring from his university duties at the end of this academic year. We wish him well, and thank you, Dr. Maina, for your service. And now, I am pleased to introduce Kurt Brower, President of the CSULB Alumni Association, who will welcome the class of 2020 and the class of 2021 to the family of CSULB alumni.
Thank you, Dean Bennett. It is truly an honor for me to be here today. As a Beach alumnus and an alumni parent, I have a sense of what it took for all of you to get here today, and I want you to know how much I admire you and your families. What you have accomplished is nothing short of extraordinary. Your time at the beach has shaped your future in more ways than you could have ever imagined. And you don't have to leave that behind just because you're leaving campus. Graduates, as you receive your degrees today, you become part of a truly impressive group, the CSULB alumni family, which is more than 350,000 strong. You now will follow, yes, recognize that number, thank you. You now will follow in the footsteps of many alumni who have built our communities through their hard work, talent, and service. In addition, with the class of 2021, California State University has reached a milestone of 4 million living alumni. To provide you with a magnitude of this number, your CSU alumni network is larger than the population of 23 US states, which is absolutely remarkable. On behalf of CSULB alumni, I offer you my sincere congratulations and encourage you to stay connected with the Beach community throughout your lives. Thank you, and go Beach.
We can see them in the books we read. Where else can we see dinosaurs?
I am now honored to introduce our president, Jane Close Connolly.
Wasn't our singer a classmate of yours, Natalie Gonzalez, who sang the national anthem and the alma mater? Wasn't she terrific? It shows how much talent there is. Scientists, mathematicians, and musicians. What a place we have. I have such a deep admiration for our 2020 grads. whose academic lives were changed in the course of just a few days last spring. And for our 2021 grads, who may not have seen each other now for almost 15 months, and yet you accomplished what we would have thought was impossible just a year ago. You have held tenaciously onto your dreams. I also admire your family, friends, faculty, and staff who have sacrificed and supported your success. Thank you. Graduation speeches often give new grads important life advice and encourage them to change the world. However, for right now, I urge you to take a breath and join me in a few moments of reflection. Look around at this unique and wonderful venue. Think how you will see Angel Stadium as so much more than a ballpark for the rest of your lives. Look towards your friends, your classmates, and families. I hope you can feel their love and support. Yes, you earn the degree, but nobody does that alone. Drink in this moment of personal accomplishment and shared effort. Try to fix this feeling, if you can, into your neural connections so you can go back to it whenever you want. You might close your eyes for just a second, create a picture and a feeling of you accomplishing something challenging and wonderful, like a university degree, which you did. And sometimes you may have doubted that it was possible, but remember, you did it. I hope you can feel the love that others have for you and the love you have for them. Remember to keep feeling love and kindness to yourself. Know that you are unique and lovable. Let it sink in that there are no other yous in the universe. Few things are more profound and amazing. Although I know we have some quantum experts here who may debate me on how many yous there are, but I think there's just you. I hope you can etch into your hearts these feelings of your strengths, all the times you bounce back, and the power of relationships and community. Take a moment to savor these events now so that you can recall them each time you confront self-doubt or external challenges in the future. And perhaps promise yourself today not to take good for granted or to fixate on the bad. Celebrate every good thing and learn from mistakes and difficulties. I hope you will remember this ceremony as I will, the feelings and faces as a milestone in your journey to our next normal. I'm not sure how we'll be changed by our pandemic experiences, but I do know that I am grateful that I had Beach students, faculty, staff, administrators, alumni, and other community partners with me on the trip. I am grateful that I had all of you. You didn't take your eyes off your aspirations, you persevered, and instead of being victims of circumstances, you all did something as rare as it is wonderful. University graduates, wow. Now what? Well, there's a lot going on in all sectors of our world. The economy is predicted to roar back for those with college degrees. So check, you got that covered. I'll be excited to hear about your next professional and educational adventures. I'm sure you're already fired up to save our planet, prevent or mitigate the next global pandemic, reform our criminal justice system, eliminate poverty, dismantle systemic racism, and remove all disparities from our health and educational systems. Well, I'm not sure what you'll do after you've finished all that. I know it will be important, worth your expertise, and I know you'll serve the public good. So to all the members of our Beach family, here, near, and far, take care of yourselves and take care of others. Stay connected. Go Beach 2020, go Beach 2021. Thank you.
I am I am now privileged to introduce two of our newest alumni, your classmates and student council presidents of the year 2020, Theodore Nedick, and of the year 2021, Natalie Cannon. I introduced them together because not only are they science majors and our student council presidents, but they are also longtime friends. Since about third grade, together they attended school, and together they are graduating in the midst of this pandemic. They remind me of one of the most valuable things about a college education, and that is our relationship with one another. As you leave CSULB and venture onward into your next adventure, keep close to your heart the friends you made here. It's an important part of your time here, and our friends are a legacy that travel with us and remind us that we always have somewhere to come back to. With that, I am honored to present to you Theodore Nedick and Natalie Cannon, your student council presidents in 2021 and 2020, backwards.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Dean Bennett, for the kind words. Well, well, well. How nice it is to see all of your assumed smiling half faces once again. To a day I didn't think would ever come for us, I'm truly honored to be with you all today. I wanted to start off by thanking you all for coming. I'm sure there are mixed feelings about coming in and graduating over a year later. I know I definitely had some mixed emotions, but I'm glad you all decided to come. And being that this is the commencement of the College of Natural Science and Mathematics, I figured it'd be appropriate to pay homage to the reason that we're all here today, and that is science. Science is the reason that this graduation's even happening, the reason we can even gather right now, see our friends, hug our family, take pictures with each other. So with that said, go science. I know that we all know how much 2020 sucked, so I won't keep bringing it up. But one thing I will talk about is the amount of growth that we all had since we last left Long Beach. Class of 2020, I don't think we really got the closure that we wanted from Long Beach. The doors closed so suddenly on us, we couldn't say bye to our friends, our teachers, finish our lab research, or experience our last classes in person. And for me, this hit really hard. We all worked so hard to graduate, and we only had the opportunity to celebrate it by ourselves in our rooms. And then it was the rapid adjustment to being at home, noisy parents in the next room over, annoying siblings, lack of privacy, kids yelling, not wanting to do homework. I think all of our mental health took a toll, and yet here we are. We adjusted, we pushed through, and we deserve the degree that we got. Class of 2020, we are so resilient. We did it. Not just graduate from Long Beach, but deal through the pandemic and make it through healthy. And I'm proud of us, all of us, and that includes you, the class of 2021. I wanted to take time as well to remember the good times and the quirks of Long Beach. Class of 2020, we got the luxury to experience Long Beach's identity crisis of choosing a new mascot. I miss the fact that only one side of the escalators ever worked at a time, and it always seemed to be the one that you needed at that moment. Or that one gap right behind the Go Beach sign that made zero architectural sense, but by God, we would walk through it to get through. Yeah. One thing I definitely don't miss was all the construction, to which demolition was always perfectly timed with finals week. But it still makes me chuckle to think about it, though. Now, it's hard to pack a year's worth of emotion in 2.5 minutes, but I wanted to close off by formally and personally congratulating the class of 2020 and 2021. Class of 2021, I wish you the best of luck in all of your upcoming endeavors. And class of 2020, to all of my friends here and watching from home, I wish you continuous luck in all the endeavors you have set for yourself upon your departure from Long Beach. Thank you. It was really great to see all of you again, and go Beach. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce my friend and fellow president of the Student Council class of 2021, Natalie Cannon.
to raise this a bit. All right. Thank you, Tia. Good morning, class of 2021, parents, families, friends, faculty and staff, goats, and most importantly, Welcome Angels fans. I am honored to be given the opportunity to speak on behalf of my graduating class, and I am thrilled that after over a year apart, we can celebrate our accomplishments together, one last time. I know personally it means a lot to me to share this moment with you all. As we are all aware of, our world has been irrevocably changed in the past year. As an international community, we have seen unfathomable loss of life, economic and financial deprivation, civil turmoil, and a necessary reckoning about race and social justice. And today, because of what we have experienced, we have risen to meet these challenges. We are stronger. Every one of us here today have suffered personal losses in the past year, some more than others. But despite that, we are here today, together. We mastered the most challenging topics of our degrees, passed our upper division courses, and qualified to graduate completely online, without the in-person support of our friends or fellow classmates. Our degrees were already rigorous, and they have been no small task. They are something to be proud of, especially because of the distance learning we have persevered through. Through trial and tribulation, we graduates have shown time and time again that we can rise to the occasion and subvert any challenge that is set before us. It can be difficult to appreciate what we have when we have already lost so much. During the fading hours of our undergraduate lives, I have reflected with fellow seniors about our journey, and I have come to understand an overwhelming sentiment that permeates each social circle. We are proud. The fact that we are all here today is paramount, and it is testament to our limitless resolve, strength, and ability. So while COVID changed everything, it also brought out the best in us and reminded us of the importance of caring, connecting, and leaving behind a legacy that we can be proud of, one that we can look back on and smile. As I wrap up, I'd like to thank my parents, Mom, Dad. Thank you for encouraging me to see how far I could push myself. Mom, please get Dad a tissue. I'd like to thank my classmates and friends who have made my life a brighter place as I've gone through college. I'd like to thank the professors who have mentored and believed in me. And to every guest here, either physically or virtually, thank you for supporting your student and being a part of their undergraduate experience. And to CSULB, thank you for giving us all the opportunity to learn and grow into ourselves, and for continuing to find ways to support us through this pandemic. In spite of everything that has transpired in the world, let's enjoy this celebration, a tribute to our achievements, our dedication, and the beginning of our futures. For some, these next steps lead us to graduate school. For others, they pave the way towards careers. Whatever your applications are, or wherever your degrees may lead you, I am proud to have known you all and have the opportunity to be your student council president. I can confidently say that the future is in great hands. Congratulations, you guys. We did it!
Thank you, Theodora and Natalie. And I think you can all see why I think our future's in great hands. And now, I am honored and delighted to present Dr. Jean-Bernard Durand, our distinguished guest speaker, and a very special member of our extended CNSM family. Dr. Durand graduated from CSULB in 1984 with a degree in biology. He went on to become an MD, graduating from the Medical College of Wisconsin in 1988. Board certified in both internal medicine and cardiovascular diseases, Dr. Durand is a trailblazer who made medical history by revolutionizing our understanding of the relationship between cardiovascular disease and cancer. He is currently a faculty member and researcher at the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center, where he founded and directs cardiomyopathy services, the first program specifically designed to manage chemotherapy-induced cardiovascular complications. Dr. Durand also established the world's largest database of DNA from patients with heart failure secondary to chemotherapy and performs genotyping to identify heart failure susceptibility genes. Additionally, he developed a tissue bank for further expression studies to identify critical pathways common to cancer biology and cardiovascular biology. He is a frequent contributor to leading medical journals, and his honors include being named America's Top Cardiologist, MD Anderson's Best Teacher, and one of Houston's top doctors. Dr. Durand.
Thank you and good morning. I'm delighted to be here. I'm also humbled to be here. I'd like to thank the organizing committee for inviting me to graduation, and especially a thank to Dr. Bennett and Marianne Horton and Margaret Carterin, who helped to all make this possible. As I look out in the audience, I see a lot of family members and friends, and I have to thank you as well for the support you gave our graduates to get through these 4 difficult years of their lives. I'd also like to thank the graduates on their milestone that they reach in their lives. Your graduation will not end your education. It's the beginning of your career. So in 2016, if someone was to ask you at that time, where do you see yourself in 5 years? How many of you would have gotten that question right? I certainly know that I didn't, because at the time I answered that question that I just want to have more Twitter followers. So if Richard Branson once said that if your dreams don't scare you, they are too small. You will have times in your career that you have to do that you don't want to do, but you do what you have to do because it's the right thing to do. In 1984, I graduated from the School of Natural Science with the idea of pursuing a career in medicine and science, full of dreams and little understanding of where my future would be. You will have times in your career that will be very difficult for you. While trying to pay for my college education, I worked several jobs. Working to pay for my education makes you real serious about your education. In 1984, I graduated from the School of Natural Science. Here are a list of some of the jobs I had to do to get myself through college. Shoe salesman, prep cook, Ralph's grocery store, bag groceries, clean floors, stock shelves, checker. I received 1 scholarship that was from the Women's Assisted Leagues of Long Beach. The lessons I learned from that is from hardship comes enlightenment. There are 5 major points I'd like for you to walk away from if I could talk to my younger self from what I've learned. Number 1 is your will for excellence determine your success. Number 2 is your family. Friends are the most important and most valuable things that you have towards your success. Number 3, plan for challenges. Success is not linear. Adjust to external forces throughout the course of your career. And number 5, your ethos has already been established. Use them judiciously. The title refers to the valuable lessons I'd like to tell you about my younger self. 15 years ago, while lecturing to college students, I was asked, have you ever failed at anything? I had a moment of clarity and was awakened that the audience members see and hear success. However, no one hears of our failures. The hundreds of experiments that failed, and the tens of hypothesis-driven work and grants that were rejected. These failures were the success that led to, were the foundation that led to my success. I always committed to sharing my failures with students, as maybe we're not defined by our accomplishments in life. Maybe it's our failures that define us more. The losses are what push us to start over again and make things right and pay attention to the little details. In 1992, I finished a residency in Chicago and moved again to Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, Texas, and joined the team to identify a new gene At that time, my mentor was Dr. Robert Roberts, who was well known as the father of molecular cardiology. So just how does one go about finding a gene? The Human Genome Project had not yet been started in 1992. What we were approaching was a positional versus a candidate gene approach. When I started my fellowship in molecular biology, I joined a team of investigators with little knowledge and lots of energy to learn the new technology, to identify the physical location and the gene responsible for inherited heart diseases. At the time, the Human Genome Project was not even on the radar. Automated sequencing had not been developed. We were nearly 10 years away with the goal to sequence all 3 billion base pairs of the human genome. And automated sequencing, a competition between the government agency, NIH, and industry. The lead scientist at that time was an entrepreneur, was Dr. Craig Venter. If you get a chance, read his book, A Life Decoded. It really gives you an insight perspective of the competition to reach an end goal in science. We are all faced with a series of great opportunities that are brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. The author of that quote is Charles Swindoll. This next picture is a picture of Hank Gathers, a star basketball player from Loyola Marymount University. During the 1990 NCAA championship, he dribbled down court, he ran down court and collapsed mid-court. The event was being nationally televised. As the camera focused on his gaze, we all witnessed a sense of doom. Looking into his eyes, he died at mid-court. And as we all have seen, as he lay for an hour and a half with no delivery of care. At that time, sports events were not required to have emergency help. Defibrillators were not needed at sporting events. This single event changed the importance of sporting events. Nearly $1 million was awarded to the family. However, there's some interesting scientific things that happened from this lesson. 6 months later, his 16-year-old cousin suffered the same event while playing basketball. This next slide, this is a pathological specimen. On your left is a cross-section of a normal human heart. On your right is a cross-section of a patient with a diagnosis of HCM, Hypertrophic Cardiomyopathy. By the way, the meaning of that in Latin is a disease of excessive growth of the heart muscle. And that's exactly what you see on the pathological specimen. Although the medical and scientific community had known about this condition, the central dogma of this disease and inherited disease of the heart were so crucial to life. It was believed that we could not tolerate these kinds of mutations in the heart, and it would be lethal at the time of delivery. The death of Hank Gathers and his cousin forced us to consider, there be a genetic component to heart disease, and challenged our fundamental scientific beliefs that the heart, in fact, is vulnerable to passing genetic information to our children. The observation were that the heart was terminally differentiated. What that means is very shortly after we're born, we will have all the heart cells that we will ever have for the rest of our life. 2 to 3 weeks after birth, we lose the capacity to replicate our heart cells. Therefore, we started to understand that the human heart has only 2 responses to injury. Either the heart can thicken or it can enlarge. HCM, or hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, deaths occur throughout the US every year. We hear about it every summer when we hear of a football player or basketball player that dies after exercise. The most likely diagnosis is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. It is the most common cause of sudden death in young individuals, with an estimated incidence of 1 in 500. This surpasses the incidence of cystic fibrosis, which is number 2 on our list. This next slide illustrates the concept of homologous chromosomes undergoing crossover event. This event involves translocation of fragments of DNA to create recombination events throughout the genome. This occurs time and time again in the human genome, and what allows us to have over 7 million individuals on the planet who are all unique individuals. No 2 individuals are alike. It involves not only physical traits, but also our personality and perhaps even our will. A closer look demonstrates that when crossover occurs, the physical location of genes may translocate. It also suggests that there is a recombination event. If we know the exact location of two marker genes, such as the large A and B, they travel together. And we can identify that these two markers are in close physical proximity. This can give us the ability that through an extensive mathematical model, the ability to identify the location of an unknown gene through the process of linkage analysis, when a known marker in gene and known gene are linked. We can use statistical analysis to identify what's called a LOD score, LOD, the log of odds. Setting the bar at a log of 3 means that the odds are at least 1,000 to 1, that the marker gene and the unknown gene are in close physical proximity. Carrie Mullins was a biochemist that invented PCR, polymerase chain reaction, for which he was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1993. He developed a thermocycler using primers and a heat-resistant Taq polymerase, which allows us to amplify large fragments of DNA over 1 million-fold in over 90 minutes. An unmentioned discovery of Dr. Mullins was also that PCR technology against anthrax treatment was 100% effective. To put things into perspective, we have 3 billion base pairs in a human genome. And if I can make an analogy that you're taking a trip from New York City to California, which is roughly 3,000 miles away. So you drop your house key on the drive. How would you go about finding your key? What would you want to know? Was it located in the West, Midwest, Northeast? What state? County, city, block, home address? This was our approach when we started at the beginning in Anaheim and performed a systemic search that ultimately identified a gene as a missense mutation. Now, Christine Seidman, who is at Harvard Medical School, was one of our competitors, but also a mentor. She had been doing a tremendous amount of work in this area as well. One single base pair change in the human genome allows a person to be born and express the physical manifestation of disease of the gene in the second to third decade of life. A single base change from guanine to adenine identifies one of now over 100 mutations identified in this disease. We now know that this is a disease of the sarcomere, the contractile apparatus of human muscle. This next slide shows that one of the contractile apparatus is the beta-myosin heavy chain gene, which makes up 90% of the weight of the heart. The gene is 23,000 base pairs and expresses an RNA of 6,000 base pairs. And the contractile protein has a head and tail region. What we now know is the head region contains the ATPase. That's the business end of the molecule responsible for generating energy. The more lethal the condition, the closer it is or more involved with the ATPase site. The closer to the tail region, the less lethal. Although they're a physical manifestation of the disease, patients may not die of the disease until the 9th decade of life. What we now understand is the concept of a genotype-phenotype correlation. After 6 months on this project, I was to lead a team to find the gene for an enlarged heart, the most common cause of heart transplantation in the US. With only 6 months of training, I was now responsible for an overwhelming project that many told me was a mountain too high to climb and something destined for failure. We started with a combined approach of a candidate position approach, starting at chromosome 1. We elected to search areas from chromosome 1 to chromosome 22 that contain candidate genes that can affect muscle function. Here's the most important lesson. We searched all 22 chromosomes and did not find the location. We had to start over again. And here is the lesson that I'd like for a lot of the scientists and graduates to remember to learn about, those of us that are presenting. On just this one project alone, I failed over 3 billion times. We located the gene at the long arm of chromosome 32, and it was a gene that is responsible for transmitting forces across the contractile protein. How do you find the strength to continue after you have failed over 3 billion times? Well, that's where you reach towards your pass. Dr. Ken Marcy, who was the chair of chemistry at the time that I was at Cal State Long Beach, Dr. Roger Acey, who also was involved in teaching biochemistry. They were sentinel to remembering what they expected of me. And they were the most influential in my education in the natural sciences and in teaching me the importance of resilience and the challenges we face in what we believe in science. Both believed in me, and ultimately, I learned to believe in myself. What should we all learn from this? Deborah King once said, sometimes we are tested not to reveal our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. The pandemic was another example of how we learned about our strength. There are 14 pandemics that have been reported in human history. The first was reported in 430 BC in Athens, and at that time, as much as 2/3 of the population died. We lost loved ones. However, it's important to remember that the human species survived. And we will survive this next pandemic that has affected us for the last 18 months. How did we deal with it at our institution? We worked in limited and physical separation labs in 8-hour shifts. Virtual meetings became our primary source of interaction. A common phrase from the pandemic was, "You're on mute." Science and medicine validity were challenged. Adversity did not build our character, it revealed it. Imagine a world in which we are enlightened by objective truths rather than offended by them. This was a quote by Neil deGrasse Tyson. Another unexpected challenge was in 2000, I was recruited to MD Anderson to start a program specifically geared towards the biology of cancer and the biology of heart disease. MD Anderson at that time, we learned that the #1 cause of a cancer survivor's death is in fact heart disease. It is not cancer. So your generation will be responsible for expanding the next generation of artificial intelligence, designer genes. And this is where your role as scientists, but also ethical roles that you will play. We now have the ability with technology to splice out genes to determine individuals' hair color, individuals' eye color, individuals' height. These are things that we are capable of doing. Just because we can do something, it doesn't mean we should do something. That's where a lot of you graduates will be very, very important for not only setting the stage for science, but the ethical. We now understand that as technology moves forward, the legal, medical, legal, the ethics of what we do lags far behind. That is your responsibility as future scientists. There are 6 strategies that I learned for dream fulfillment along the paths of taking leadership training. #1 is to put your goals in writing and commitment to fulfillment. Visualize them as they're achieved. Make them what we call an acronym SMART goals. If they're SMART goals, they have to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, trackable. Chop the goals into bite-sized mini goals. Develop a step-by-step plan for achieving them. What does the future hold for our graduates? Team science. Having a multidisciplinary approach to solutions that are related to medical and scientific solutions. Not only is that important, as you develop your academic career, you will be judged on your ability to have multidisciplinary approach. Even grantsmanship. Grants are looking that you prove that you can work with multidisciplinary approach. Diversity of thought is accepted as the new normal. Artificial intelligence and 3D models will be how we evaluate preclinical validation. You have no limitations. Society sets those limitations, and it is up to you to accept or refute those limitations. The things you want to remember is your life is a canvas. Tomorrow morning, you start off with a blank canvas, and you as a graduate decide what you want on that canvas. You can write your narrative, and you write your own story. Remember, there will be peaks and valleys in your life and in your career, And in those moments, some of those support will come from you in your valleys, will come from your family and friends who will carry you out of those valleys. In my most difficult times, it was my family, in particular my sisters Nadia and Rochelle, who carried me out of valleys and humbled me while I was in my peaks. When you wake up tomorrow morning, do you start your new life as someday? Instead, start your new life tomorrow morning as day one. Thank you and congratulations to all our graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Durand, for that wonderful speech. And let me echo what he says, that start tomorrow as day one. You are our future. So with that, let bring us to Dr. Babette Benkin, is the Director of Graduate Studies in the college, and will now join us to present our master's candidates to the President for degree conferral.
Welcome, everybody. I see my math ed peeps out there. I will now present the class of 2020 candidates for the master's degree. Will all of the class of 2020 candidates for our master's degree please stand and remain standing? President Connolly, these candidates from the class of 2020 for the Master of Science degree have completed all the requirements for their respective degrees and have been approved by the faculty of the College of Natural Science and Mathematics to receive their degrees.
You have been recommended to me by the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, by your Dean, and by your distinguished faculty. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I confer upon each of you who has fulfilled all requirements the appropriate master's degree with all the rights and privileges thereto. Congratulations. You may be seated.
And now, the bachelor's candidates for the class of 2020. Will all the class of 2020 candidates for the bachelor's degree please stand and remain standing? President Connolly, these candidates of the class of 2020 for the bachelor's degree have completed all the requirements for their respective degrees and have been approved by the faculty of the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics to receive their degrees.
You have been recommended to me by the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, by your Dean, and by your distinguished faculty. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I confer upon each of you who has fulfilled all requirements the appropriate bachelor's degree in your field of study. Baccalaureate graduates, you may now move your tassel to the left side of your cap. This signifies completion of your undergraduate degree. Congratulations. You may be seated.
I will now present the class of 2021 candidates for the master's degree. Will all of the class of 2021 candidates for the master's degree please stand and remain standing? President Connolly, these candidates from the class of 2021 for the Master of Science degree have completed all the requirements for their respective degrees, and have been approved by the faculty of the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics to receive their degrees.
You have been recommended to me by the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, by your Dean, and by your distinguished faculty. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I confer upon each of you who has fulfilled all requirements the appropriate master's degree with all the rights and privileges thereto. Congratulations. You may be seated.
And now, the bachelor's candidates for the class of 2021. Will all the class of 2021 candidates for the bachelor's degree please stand and remain standing? President Connolly, these candidates of the class of 2021 for the bachelor's degree have completed all the requirements for their respective degrees and have been approved by the faculty of the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics to receive their degrees.
You have been recommended to me by the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, by your Dean, and by your distinguished faculty. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I confer upon each of you who have fulfilled all requirements the appropriate bachelor's degree for your field of study. Baccalaureate graduates, you may now move your tassel to the left side of your cap. This signifies completion of your undergraduate degree. Congratulations. You may be seated.
Let me add my congratulations to all the graduates today. This is indeed a milestone in your life. All of us in the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics extend our best wishes to you in your future endeavors and careers. I thank all of you for your attendance at this, our most unique ceremony yet, the 72nd commencement. Graduates should meet their guests at the gate on the guest tickets and proceed to the graduate recognition stages. Let the recessional begin.
Graduates and guests, families and friends, thank you for joining us this morning for the commencement ceremony for the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. We invite you now to make your way out to meet your graduate at one of our 8 graduate recognition stages in the parking lot. There, graduates and families can view their graduate slide and hear their names read as they cross the stage. Congratulations, and go Beach!